Okay, so let's get this into the frame, see what it looks like, and then go from there. Oh, I like to open my frames using this plastic tool. I open a lot of frames, so you may not have something like this around. You may be able to use something rigid like a credit card, or if you have a bone folder, you might be able to get the tip underneath. But basically, we're prying up these metal tabs, and they're pretty easy to bend, so you could do them with your hands if you needed to, or a screwdriver, anything that can get under there. I like to also pry up the picture hanger part so that I can get my fingers under there too. And these steps are the same whether you're working with an empty frame from the kit or if you're working with a map that's already been made. First, right up against the glass, we want to put our map, and it should look backwards so I can see my pencil lines from earlier. And then this is a little wooden spacer, and that's what keeps your background separate from your map. It gives you that space. Then kind of put my background in, put the backing back on, and these metal tabs are great, but they have a finite lifespan, so I like to make sure I bend them as little as possible, which means that before I close my frame, I flip it over and make sure that everything is exactly how I expect it to be. And so looking at it like this, behind the glass, I do feel like I need a little bit more visual interest, and I think I'll go ahead and put some of those strips of paper on the background. So with these, I do want to use glue. I'm just going to tear the edges since we won't see them because they'll be covered by the map. And this is just another scrap piece of paper. Make just a little puddle of glue on it. And then working a little bit at a time, making sure that the part that I've glued then stays off the cutting mat and the other things I'm working on. I'm just dabbing the edge of the paper in glue. And to some extent the wave shape helps this stay in place, but you can see that you can't really see the glue, certainly not from the top, and my wave stayed in place. So for the next one, do the same thing. This technique is technically called quilling. You can buy pre-cut strips of paper to do this with if you'd like. I didn't quite cut these short enough. Fold those down. Let's see what we've got now. Get my glue out of the way so I don't accidentally stick anything else in it. So, map first. Make sure I can see the pencil so that I know it's the right way. Then the spacer, then my background. And I've forgotten to leave space for the spacer. So the spacer will overlap the background about 1/4 of an inch. So anything you're attaching directly to the background, you need to make sure you leave a border of about 1/4 of an inch. And depending on the design of your map, you want to check your edges and see what will be visible in the final piece. So if your map comes really close to the edge, of course you want to be a little bit more careful. So there we go. I have my waves. I have my label from my vintage dictionary pages, and I've cut my shape from the map. Just going to close up my frame. Now I can give it to my friends who love this pond, or I can hang it on my wall. It's good to go.